for a delay. It was uncalled for, and we did not anticipate. It was not also anticipated. So, and also apologies for not having my screen. I can try to have a screen, but Rambhai, I have my phone. Maybe I can try to just connect the video through the phone. Is that okay?
That is also a possibility. Yeah.
Let's do it. But anyways, that will happen by the side. So uh, how we would be going today, the flow would be that we will be spending 2 hours, and before that, I just want to welcome each one of you uh, from wherever you are, residing, from wherever you're logging in. It's a morning or afternoon or evening. So I really appreciate you coming here, taking out time. So welcome over here. And uh, how this will go is that we will spend another uh, quarter to 2 hours. Um, we'll be covering some of the portion slide by slide, and on each slide we will be having questions. We can go and ask. We can just go ahead and ask questions on each slide. That's absolutely okay. And at the end, we will be having a small exercise. That's a meditation. So, and it will be around 20 minutes. So, I would request you to have a comfortable and a quiet place, because that meditation will require you to be seated, preferably on a, a very firm base, and also you need silence. So that's how the whole flow would go. Uh, Maybe I can introduce myself a little bit, and then I would like to hear from you also. So, pardon me. So, uh, my name is Akash, and my journey started around close to 2 years ago into the spiritual realm, and it's not quite far, but it was by an accident where my wife, she is also my coach, my guru, one of my gurus, who took me to a friend's place, her friend's place, and uh, I went through a past life regression therapy. Although I must admit, nothing went in, it did not really resonate with me. None of the words were quite resonating. I did not understand the whole thing, frankly. But I think gradually everything fell in place, and I started to get attracted to all the terms which were used over there at that time. And also my exploration started, and I was fortunate to meet some great masters like Jaspal sir, who has been a great teacher to teach, to introduce about ascended masters, and also Andrew Cohen, who is a great teacher who has introduced me to evolutionary enlightenment, or I would say modern Advaita, the modern form of Vedanta. And yeah, so that's all about myself. I'm married. I have a boy, 14 years boy. I have a 20 years of IT experience. I'm a service delivery head in one of the French companies, IT companies. And that's all about me. So I'm really glad that you are here. Nothing happens by accident. Each one of you are here. I'm very sure that you are here for a reason, and I don't take your presence lightly. I want you, each one of you, to know individually that your being here, it says a lot about you. That you really have something in your journey that brought you here, and that something is not something. It's really the biggest thing. That's perhaps maybe your purpose for life. Uh, so, if I could say that. So, I really welcome you, and I'm really honored that you are here. Thank you so much. And we'll speak more as we are here. So, my deep love and reverence to each one of you. If I may ask everybody to briefly share about themselves, who all are present.
Okay, I will go. So thanks a lot, Akash Bhai, for being here for all of us. That means a lot. We are very happy and also happy to see all these fellow travelers. So I'm joining from Germany, and I'm basically from India, Andhra. And my journey into spirituality, I would say, or rather, my journey into clarity had started in the year 1998. So I learned meditation from my father, and since then it had been daily a joyful journey. So it took a completely different dimensional journey once in 2010. Myself and Madhu had decided to share, not just practice to ourselves, but to share this joy to everyone. So since then, more and more clarity, uh, more and more, I would say, family we could find everywhere we go. So we are very, very happy to be here and do and witness what everything is happening around. So thank you, Akash bhai.
Thank you, Rambhai. Whatever you shared and however you have been present in this planet, it's really amazing. I have a deep reverence to you and Sister Madhu and for what you're doing. It really means a lot. The words are not enough to express that. But I really thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you. Yes, let's hear from everybody else. I promise if we are interactive, it will be really nice. We'll have a better understanding about what we're doing today. I promise you that.
Okay, so my name is Shivani, and thank you, Akashji and Ramji, for having this session. And I'm from Delhi, from India, and I got connected to the Violet Fire 3 years back. My spiritual journey started in 2015. And since I got connected with Violet Flame, it's also been amazing. I mean, in the journey, you meet so many gurus, and Jaspal sir has been amazing. It's always very nice to be connected. There was a small break that I was not in connection, like, say, almost for a year now, but I'm back again, and it feels really good. I'm so happy to be here. The energy, I mean, it's so beautiful, even in the energy through virtually, also, you can actually feel it because it's all in that same space of that oneness. So it seems really nice. Thank you so much for having this. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivani ji. Thank you for sharing all that you shared, and thank you for coming and showing up for this session. Even though we are all part of Sony Sir's sessions, and
Yes.
as we all know that he is an amazing master who has learned directly from Elizabeth Clare Prophet, and I'm sure everyone is
Yes.
going to have
Yes.
something new to share from through our learning. So today, while I'm here, my intention is not to speak only. That's my the only way I can learn, or I feel that I know something is by experimenting. So my intention here is to basically talk to everybody here while we are talking towards the implementation aspect of it. What we learn, are we able to imply it, are we able to apply it? So I promise you this will be worthwhile as we go along this rest of the session. Thank you so much, Maniji. You're welcome. Yes, somebody else can share. I see Sahir.
We have someone with beam meditation just was available. Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I'm Seema from India, Odisha,
Hi, Seema.
and I'm in meditation from last 4 years, and it's helping me a lot. And I'm a housewife, and during this lockdown period, it's helping a lot, and I'm progressing in this field a lot, and I'm teaching meditation also to the people in Odisha, and I want to do the session today. The session I want to do it. So thank you a lot.
You're welcome, Seema ji. Thank you for being here. And it's really great that you're here. And this is something which it's my commitment that you would take a lot of value out of this session. So I'm really grateful that you've come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yes, friends. Let's hear from the rest of you. Nisha, Sahir, uh, Grace. I know Grace D'Souza. Hi, Grace.
Hello, hi,
Hi. Welcome, Grace. Welcome here.
thank you.
Yeah,
I
it's great.
welcome you also. It's nice.
Thank you so much. Is this
I've
the
been
first time
connected
you're joining to the session?
this kind of session, yes, but I'm in connected with Jaspal Soni, na?
Yes, I
Chandana.
know. I know. Yeah, that
Yeah,
through Jaspal sir, I know you. That's why I
uh,
recognized your name.
okay.
So,
Since 2013, I've been connected to the Violet
oh,
Lake,
oh, okay. Wow, that's amazing. That's
and I've
amazing.
stuck onto it because it has helped me greatly.
Yeah. So
Thank
during
you.
the course of session, please, be at home. Being
Yes,
here, be at home, and express anything that you feel can be of use to everybody else. Because what you bring forth is a lot of knowledge, and all knowledge is useful. So you're most welcome.
okay, thank
Thank you
you.
for being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, we have Bonita and Nisha. Hi, Bonita.
Yeah, Nisha ji wants to share.
Yeah, sure, sure. I'm sorry, I may not have read the messages. Please go ahead. Hi, Nisha. You're welcome.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
It's the
What?
first time I'm joining this session.
Okay. Okay. How did you hear about this teaching?
I'm in the group, Beam Meditation group.
Okay. Okay. Great. You're part of the Beam family. So welcome, Nisha. It's great that you're here.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I intend to make this a very useful session for everybody. We have, I'll come to a few things as we start so that you can make maximum value out of it. Okay. Yeah. So, hi, Sahir. I heard Sahir saying hello. Sahir, you
Yeah,
want to
good morning,
unmute and say
Master
hello?
Akash. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Sahir.
It's very beautiful to hear from you again, especially this topic. So I'm very interested today to be with you.
Okay.
And Master Ram and Master Madhu did a good job over the past year with me. I was meditating already, but it really showed me the way to be not saying a different person, but um, expanded consciousness more, you know? So it's a different person through meditation. So I'm sure today that you gain a lot of benefit listening to you. So thank you so much for being here, Master Akash.
It's my pleasure, Brother Sahir. And I would just like to add that we are all here learning from each other. And well, somebody have at different stages of our evolution. which helps them to share few things, and for others to also learn. And this journey continues all this while. So just
Yes.
Are
want to,
we yet to start with the session?
yes, we are going to start the session.
I thought I
In,
got late. Actually, the time was 12:30.
yeah,
I thought
we
I was
started
late.
at 12:40. We were delayed by 10 minutes, but we are
Right.
just going to start once we have a brief introduction, so that everybody feel they are at home, and I also know what is the background with which they come, and if they have been part of this session before, so that I can cover I can come to their perspective and explain them accordingly. So
Okay.
yeah, so Sahir, have you attended any of the sessions before, or this is the first time?
No, this session, no. It's the first time for me.
Okay. Okay, I'll share a few things which will help you to navigate through easily, because we have been through the starters earlier, more like an overview or an appetizer. And today is the first session that we are actually going a little more into the depth, into the a little more detail of it. So, but don't you worry about it, brother. We will cover it up. Yeah,
Yes, please. Thank you so much, Master Akash.
yeah. Hi, Parvinder ji. It's glad that you're here. Nice to see you. Thank you. My welcome to you and pranam to you. Nice to be here.
Hello, Akash bhai.
Sister Madhu.
Yes, Akash bhai, I'm
Okay,
here.
hi.
Yes.
Hi, great you could join. That's so
No,
nice that you're here.
yeah, thank you, Akash bhai. And hello, everybody. Myself, Madhu, and as Ram said, I've been practicing meditation from past 10 years, and I've been started sharing what I've experienced to everybody from the 8th day of my practice. So it brings me a lot of joy in seeing people happy. I want everybody to be smiling and be content in the heart. And this is what we are spreading. And it's great to have Akash Bhai listen to his wisdom. And we're just looking forward, Bhai. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you for being here. It means a lot, and I really want to thank you for doing what you're doing. This is really not ordinary. I understand what you do, and that brings a lot of respect for you. And thank you. Okay, yeah, Pravinder ji, would you like to say a hello to everyone? So introduce yourself.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, hi, Pravinder ji.
Hello. Hi, sir.
Hi.
Namaskar, Professor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
How long have you been part of Ascended Master teaching? If you can just share with everybody.
Sir, I am with the Ascended Master teaching right from the, I can say around 4 years. More than 4 years.
Mm.
So I have been practicing Violet Flame and all the teachings of the Ascended Master regularly, and it's an amazing teaching. I should say that one must do without fear and without doubt. Only then you can able to understand the teaching, and it is most of the teaching are guidance to our daily life. Okay, that's what I can say. Okay, thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much, Pravinder ji. It means a lot, and I really appreciate you coming. In spite of being in this teaching for so many years, you have such a great respect and the heart to to just to be available and still receive, give, receive, and all that. So that's really nice. And I think we all can learn from each other. And while we're in these sessions, I'll provide some opportunities where you can also share some experiences. So we'll be happy to hear from you at that point of time as well. Thank you so much. Bonita would like to say a hello. I did not hear from Bonita. It's up to you.
Hi, hello.
As well, it's
Can
fine.
you hear?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me, Bonita?
Can you hear?
I can.
Hi, hello. This is
Hello.
Monita. I'm from Delhi, India. It'll be my first session for this. I'll be attending first time. But yes, I'm connected to Jaspalsia, and I do practice violet flame. So it's a great experience, actually. So I'm looking forward to learn more from this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bonita, for joining. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Really means a lot. So, without further delay, if I did miss anybody, I welcome you for being here. I think Satija ji is here. Welcome, Satija ji. Thank you for being here.
I'm connected to Jaspalji for the past 3.5 years. So the teachings are comprehensive, very exciting and adventurous. I've seen the change of consciousness when you decree together. But otherwise, I'm not a regular practicer of decrees and other things. So please start the meeting. It's getting late. Thank you.
I like this way of saying it. Yeah. Well, I don't think there is any delay in the meeting because everything happens as per the divine order. I'm a firm believer of this, as I say it, because the thing is that no delay is a delay. It was meant to be like that. But yes, we must start. Time is crucial. We wanted to make sure that we are all on the same page, and there are few people like Seema ji, Bunita ji, who are new, and of course Sahir, brother Sahir. So for the people who are new, what I would say is that I'm going to touch upon one very fundamental aspect about this teaching, which will really help you to kind of feel yourself connected and grounded. It will help you to hook on, so to say. At the same time, it would not be sufficient, I would say, to deep dive into practicing only what we are learning today, because there will be certain things which we are going to be talking about the first way, and this is more towards really honing yourself or becoming good, competent in the first ray. I don't get bogged or really hooked on with the word, intrigued with the word. I'll explain you all that. What does this mean later on? But then you will have to go through few of the previous videos which are there already, and Rambhai will also share them in the chat. But at the same time, there are few things which will help you to navigate through these teachings. The first thing is, if you share your phone number, which can be added into the WhatsApp group, it will help you to receive all the updates, and in fact also the previous sessions links. Okay, you have the video links, you have the presentation links, everything is there in the groups, and you can also interact with each other. So kindly do that. It will help you to learn. And the second thing is that you can go through these videos and at any point of time use those videos for your reference. And if you have any questions, we can address them during the WhatsApp, I mean within the WhatsApp group. At the same time, we can also address them in the next session which we will have. So that's something which will help you to that will help you to get grounded, actually. Okay. And so what you see right now, okay, uh, this is a galaxy. Okay. My question is to all of you: why are we here on this planet? So I ask this question to each one of you to introspect yourself. Ask this question to yourself. with a open heart, and also be here with an open heart and an open mind. All that we need right now is your presence and your open heart and open mind, and that's all is required. And I promise you that you'll find value out of this session. That's my commitment to you. So my question is that what could be the reason of us being on this planet Earth? I think there is an audio to play now, but it's okay. Introspect in the meantime. Take a moment and ask this question: why are we here on this planet? What's the purpose of us being on the planet? Whatever answers come, just be with that answer and let's hear from you. Okay, any answers? Anybody would like to share?
Hello.
Yes. Go ahead.
I think we take birth to learn some lessons because we are there in the karmic chain.
Okay.
And when we are involved in some karmas, or good or bad, we need to learn some lessons till we come out of that chain. So we take birth again and again till we learn that lesson finally.
Okay. Yeah, that's a valid point. Sure. Okay. Anything else you want to add? Or anybody else?
Yes, Master Akash.
Sahib. Yes, brother.
Yes. I was thinking about this for my whole life, almost my whole life.
Likewise.
Yes. Why?
Likewise.
What am I doing here? Yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually, the idea that came to me right now when you were asking, and in the recent years that I'm here to learn a lot, as much as I can, and to teach the other people what I've learned, and to pass my knowledge, not to teach. It's just to pass my knowledge, but at the same time to gain the knowledge, or to remember what I forgot before I was born. To remember and to use it and to make the world better through knowledge. I think this is the highest good in this world is knowledge.
Yeah. Amazing.
That's
Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know it's a very confronting question, very fundamental, but very confronting at the same time. If we do really be honest about it, it really is confronting. Yeah. Anybody else would like to share?
Yes.
Yes, Shivani.
So, Akashji, what I understand through whatever, experience or knowledge that I have is to learn the virtues that, when we say also, God wants us to learn the lesson. He wants us to bring in that virtues, which actually is existing in us. But it's probably because of our mind or, learnings of conditioning. Somewhere we do not recognize it. So I feel to learn those virtues. So in case if there's kindness or compassion or love, those are the virtues which are existing but we do not realize. So while we realize them, feel them, understand, we even bring that to others and share them with others. So I just feel that this is the reason why we are here. And I guess that's the reason there is like rebirth. So till we do not learn those virtues, so God actually wants us to be like him, the way he is. He's somebody who, for him, it's just all are just one with no duality. So I guess this is what he wants us also to understand, that there's no duality and there's just oneness.
Yeah, absolutely. Quite a valid point. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Shivani. Anybody else would like to share some
Yeah,
thoughts about
Akash.
this? Yes,
Thank
Ram
you.
Yes, Akash bhai. So my journey had also, very much related to this particular question. What is the reason for being here? And every day I find a new answer, and I know the answer today uh, is a better version of an answer that I had yesterday, and tomorrow would be a better version of an answer that I have now. And being in that open space, I realize more, or let's say, newer understandings are on the way, and I realize that it's remembering and realizing what we really are. It is in a way what we are all are undergoing, to realize that we create our own reality. We are part of the creation, and we are also the creators, creators ourselves. We are gods, probably, is the um, ultimate sentence that comes to me. So uh, I feel that we all now, as we wake up in the morning, we say waking up to the reality. However, in the wakeful state, it is to realize that we still need to wake up to the real reality, to realize that there is a higher reality, and realizing that reality, which I feel in the end that we all are gods. Thank you.
Very nice the way you put it. Really nice, Ram. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else would like to share? All answers are valid, by the way. And like Rambai said, that we are on our own journey, and each day we discover something new about various reasons of why we are here, and we connect with a different dimension of our understanding. I mean, with the different dimension of the overall consciousness. Uh, Quite simply put, we are one step ahead, or a little more evolved than yesterday, and that journey continues. And at the end, we are all just going to the direction of the source. So, anybody else would like to share? Feel free if you wish to share, even during the course, if you come up with some question or just want to share about your experiences, it's absolutely okay. Uh, all I say is that while we are on a particular slide, we finish that slide, and then you can ask your questions, whatever questions they are, whether it's on that slide, even on the earlier slide, and we'll try to just keeping the time in our mind. We'll try to answer. I'll try to answer them as much as possible. So I think we have really looked at this question. That's my belief. All of us have looked at this question, that why are we here on this planet Earth? What you see on the screen, by the way, is basically a complete galaxy. So many universes together. Each dot on this screen represents probably a planet. And imagine how much you and me and each one of us would really mean in this whole mass, huge, expansive cosmos. How much would we mean, or where do we see ourselves if we put ourselves in this whole, gamut, or this space, in this big wide space? We can't even see ourselves. I mean, not even a dot. Uh, but we make ourselves and our lives mean so much. Our title, our family relationships, our positions, our possessions, our thoughts, we make them mean so much. um, so I invite you to be with this question while we are on, we are in this course of discussion today during this session. Okay, and continue to ask this question to you. Have this question at the back of your mind. I would just add one thing is that we definitely are just not here to earn money, make children, and you know create big titles, earn degrees. That's just not the only reason why we are here. Uh, but yeah, these things can be of help to us for sure. But there's something more than that. And perhaps if you think a little more deeply, what you would see is that the entire cosmos is moving in a direction. And hello, yeah. Anyways, so this entire cosmos is moving in a direction, and perhaps we are integral part of that cosmos, and that's the whole idea of being part of the creation of the source. And that's what I think. This is what we want to do, is we want to align to the whole idea of the creation of the whole cosmos. And we will talk about this as we go during the session. This is my understanding, that our purpose of being on the planet is so that we can merge more and more towards the creation of the whole cosmos, towards the creation of the source. And what we are learning now through the Ascended Master teachings is just that. And these teachings have been on this planet from eons. It has been there before the formation of the earth that we know, the last phase of the earth that we know, before the another 20, 30,000 years ago, the destruction came, and then again the new earth formed, and much before that. And basically, when the whole Big Bang happened, okay, so it has been there from eons of years, lakhs and lakhs of years. However, these teachings have not been scripted in any of the scriptures, or various religious scriptures, because of the obvious reasons, so that they are not misused. And we know the reasons, actually, at the human level, so that they are not misused. That is why these were not part of any of the scriptures in any of the religions. But all these teachings have been there from eons of years, and we have a lot of places we do have evidences also. And especially the people who start connecting to these teachings, they understand how what we say, they start finding the various evidences of the presence of these teachings from eons of years. Now, right now, what you see on the screen are some of the Ascended Masters, and there are a lot many. Let me just speak about what you see on the screen here. So we are quoting about the teachings offered by Ascended Masters of the Great White Brotherhood. So what do you mean by that? What do you mean by Great White Brotherhood? Well, Great White Brotherhood is nothing but a body of masters who are ascended, who are unascended, and their chelas. So, which essentially means all the ascended masters, all the unascended masters, and all of us. And when we say ascended masters, it means that they have been through the cycle of life and death so many times that they have come out of the cycle of life and death, because they have learned all the lessons, and now they have reached to a state where they can be of assistance to different planets, including the planet Earth. And they can do the God's work. And the ones who are unascended masters are the ones who have been through the cycle of life and death. However, they chose not to go to the state of etheric level, but yet they chose not to ascend, but yet they chose to be on the planet Earth and then work closely with humans. However, they are not physically visible, but then they are very, very approachable and very, very, very close to the human being. And the amount of or the difference between the ascended and unascended masters also is the way they are, the kind of I would say, use this word as power, the kind of different powers and the provisions that they have. And the unascended masters have more connection with the people on the earth, much more closer connection with the people on the earth versus the ascended masters. And this is something which you can talk about later on. I am going to be using certain terms which are new to you, but if you just be open with your open heart and with your open mind, I'm sure you will get your answers. And I'm also happy to, if you are having any doubts, I'm happy to address them. Okay. So now if I would just share about few of the ascended masters on the screen. On the screen left top is Master Kuthumi. He's a master of psychology. And then below him we have El Morya. He's a master of ministration. And then below him we have will of God, in fact, ministration and will of God. And below him we have Chananda, Master Chananda. He is a master of twin flame and also the responsible ascended master for India, to spread spirituality in India. He is responsible for the spiritual learnings for specifically for India. And then below him we have Sanat Kumara, and Sanat Kumara has the overall responsibility of the whole planet Earth. We will talk about him also later, but he has the highest order of responsibility of planet Earth, and for obvious reasons, which we will talk about later. Very interesting points, very exciting things to share. Below him we have Serapis Bey. He's a master of discipline. And below him we have, the next on the right top, we have Mother Kuan Yin. She is a mother of goddess of mercy, compassion, and forgiveness. And below her we have Saint Germain. He is the master for violet flame. And below him we have Paul the Venetian, who is a master of love. And below him we have Archangel Michael, who is a master of protection. And then below him we have Astrea. She is a goddess of fearlessness. Fearlessness and courage. So in the recent past 100 years, we have many movements associated with the Ascended Master teachings. But in the last 100 years, we have one of the movement which is also there in India, Theosophical Society. Some of you are connected to that, I know, but this started in 1875 in New York, and then further was spread into India in 1897. And it's there in Chennai and a few other places in India, their offices. And then we had another movement, IAM movement, which started in America, in Chicago in 1930. All the information that we read here is been extracted from Summit Lighthouse, which is based in Corwing Springs, Montana, USA. Okay, I'll just quickly see if there is any question. Yeah, no, okay, kindly, okay, fine, sure. We'll do that, Gunitaji. All right, any questions? All right, so today we are going to be talking about 7 rays of individualized God self in us. We have been speaking about this for those of you who have joined the earlier sessions, what we are referring to right now. In very brief earlier. So we had covered initially about various qualities of each ray versus the color of each ray versus the the meridian or the chakra for each corresponding to each ray, the corresponding chakra to each ray, and the perversions of each ray, and also the masters who are overlooking each ray. Today what we are doing is we are going beyond the the introductory and summary, and we're going a little more deeper. I wouldn't say that we are mastering, but we are trying to get more competent, or we are trying to fine tune our understanding about each ray. So today is this lesson on ray 1, which is of the color blue, which corresponds to the throat chakra, and the throat chakra has 16 petals. I'm going to talk about that in a few moments, but yeah, thus these teachings are from the ancient traditions. You may not be able to correlate them with any of the conventional learnings, with the aspect of chakras, as well as colors, as well as stones, as well as some of the qualities which are, the qualities which are oriented around them, and the perversions also. So without further delay, let me just introduce you, especially the ones who are new to the to this chart. Okay, what does this chart mean? Well, this chart represents us. I'm very excited to share about this chart. Maybe I'm sure, in fact, whoever is present here and they are keenly observing and keenly listening with an open heart and mind will also feel the same. I'm sure, because this chart, what does it say? I've been bringing this chart on every single meeting, and it's been like 6 weeks now. There must be a reason that I'm doing it. For sure, I'm not trying to be repetitive or parroting at all, and spending just time for no reason. Not absolutely no reason to let the time go on a toss. Not at all, for sure. This is the reason why I keep repeating or showing this slide, is because, including me, all of us need to remember, who are we? Are we just brothers and sisters, and the daughters and sons of our parents and siblings, or the employees, and so on and so forth, the titles that we have? I mean, the closest is that, are we only the sons and daughters of our parents? No, we are the sons and daughters of God. I mean, I never even ever imagined this aspect in my mind. It never existed. It was like I don't even know that I don't know about it. It's like a completely blind spot for me. So, but that's true. Once I discovered that this is who we are, we, all of us, are sons and daughters of God. I want you to breathe into this. Just really breathe into this aspect. How beautiful is that? Well, we will discover how I say that and how we can really experience that in our real life, because I don't think that we really believe in this, really. Maybe some of us we do, but then we really experience this. And the idea is for us over here is to experience this. And then as we experience this, to be able to connect more and more closer to it. And in the process, get into this, move further in our journey of moksha, ascension. So if you see in this figure, this figure has primarily three parts to it. The topmost, even though it says Om, it has no real, connection with this particular word, specifically to any of this word. It has a connection with all the words. It has a connection with Christ. It has a connection with Muhammad, Allah. It has a connection with Zoroastrianism's, symbol that we practice, with Hindu, with Guru Nanak Ji, all the religions. So just to make that clear to everybody. So that's what it means. Now, this figure has three parts. If you look at the top one, which says Om, and then the middle one is another figure with a man, with having, kind of four hands, and then another man at the bottom. That's the last third one. And what it means is that essentially we have 7 different clothes or embodiments, each one of us. 3 are the lower embodiments. In fact, 4 are the lower embodiments and 3 are the upper embodiments. The 4 lower embodiments, they are very close to our physicalness, our physical, as we live our life. Now, we live our life through our touch, through our senses, listening, hearing, all that. And then we live our life through our experiences, which is through our emotions, through our feelings, through our thoughts. Yeah. So these are the certain things through which we live our life. So those 4 clothes or embodiments, those 4 garments are our etheric body. That's the outer circle of our body immediately. and then our mental body, you can call it as our psyche and all that, and then our emotional body, which includes our thoughts and feelings, perhaps more closely associated with our feelings, our emotions, and then our physical body. That's the one which which we tangibly see. That's what is the lower embodiments of being human. And then the middle figure is talking about, and the lowest figure is called as jivatma also. And the middle figure, if you see, is Atma, and that's our higher self, which means this is an interface between us and our God self. I'm going to talk about what I mean with this name. But the intermediate figure is like an helper. Okay, it's our higher consciousness, or rather, I would say that it's our higher mind, our higher self. A lot of angelic work. Okay, a lot of angels. Or we also connect to our own inner child, our own intuitiveness using this, and it helps us to connect with, to lets us to see our God self. It's very important that this is there. My question was, why can't we not just connect with our God? So it is important because from the percentage of level of consciousness that we have been dropped eons of years ago, we have really dropped to a state where it's difficult for us to for us to actually see the reality, to see the truth. Okay, so that's the reason why we need this. So I mean, to make it very simple, if I would say that, if somebody is at yeah, I'll come back with the better analogy in a while. Pardon me for that. But the state where we are right now, we are able to see life from our perspective, and from the God's eye perspective, we really need a lot of assistance. So for getting that assistance, we have been provided with this middle state. That's the higher consciousness. Let me put it that way. And it's a blessing and it's a boom for us that we have that kind of possibility. And then we will talk about this in the reality, how it really works, so that you can feel the reason, or you can feel that it really exists. And then the topmost figure is the God self. That's our Brahma, Brahmasmi. And this is where we truly want to go. So that's the answer to the question that I raised in the beginning, or maybe that's going to continue to be an answer for us. But that's the ultimate goal. That's our goal. Our goal is to be in the state of our God self, to be God, to merge with God. That's who we are, because we are part of God. You and me are sons and daughters of God. Being sons and daughters of God means that we are part of God. God exists in us. We are gods. So isn't that amazing? So I just wanted to take one moment and say this, that Ascended Master Teachings tells us that while we always will have a lot of masters and teachers who will assist us to reach to this path, but we should remember that we are the sons and daughters of God. That means we are God. So saying that, it means that we always must remember that we are not less, not from the ego mind. I am very sure that this is something that, including me, we cannot understand. It's not this, what I'm speaking now is difficult for me also to really absorb and assimilate and experience. But I'm just speaking this from the learning perspective or the knowledge perspective. My whole journey, our journey, the goal is to really be in this teaching. But there is a starting point, and that's where we are, all of us. So that's why I'm just saying it. Okay, and saying it with words. Let's reach there finally. We, you and me, all of us are gods, and so that means that we are no less. So anytime we learn and we experience the teachings, we must remember that we are getting assistance, but the teaching are coming not from humans. If we get attached to any human, anybody, we are digressing our teachings, we are our learnings. So we have to remember that we have to be connected to the source, which is basically the knowledge from the ascended masters. And I'll tell you why, how this knowledge has come to us. It has come directly from them. And not get connected to the transmitter who's sending this message. And that's very important for us to know that. Okay, coming back to this figure. So the different colors that you see around the Om, or the center white color bright circle, is basically the colors of the qualities of gods. And there are 7 different colors, and each color represents a different ray, which I've been talking about since the first session. And today is the first session that we are going to be deep diving into the one of the rays, which is the first ray, which is of blue color, the outermost. Okay. So, and also you see a single cord which is connecting from the lowest figure to the topmost figure, and that's the crystal cord, and that's the cord which gets while we are in the mother's womb at the stage of our inception. That's the connection that gets generated with our highest self, so that we never lose the connection. At any point of time we might lose our senses, in our psyche, because being in the lower bodies doesn't allow us to really experience these godly knowledges and wisdoms. But this is something which can always pull us back to our connection with the God. And that's our connection all this while, till the highest God self. Okay, any questions up to this point? Am I audible? Any questions?
Yeah, you're audible, Akash bhai.
Okay, thanks, Rambhai. Okay, let's do this. Okay, my idea is that this is an interactive session, and it's okay if you don't have a question. Just leave a message that you don't have a question, so I know that all of us are up to speed so far, because I am not here for a lecture or just to share something out of theory, but it's something which my intent is that we can take back with us as an experience to whatever degree. So I would ask you really humbly to, if in case there's no question, just put a no in the text and let's move on in that case to the next slide. How about that? Not exciting?
Bonita ji, would you like to say something? I see. Bonita ji, would you like to say something? I see you are unmuted.
Come on, guys. Let's have an interactive session so that it can really have have value. Punita ji, are you intending to say anything? Do you have a question? Hello, can you hear me, Bonita? Okay, Satija ji, thank you. No question. Okay, sure, Bonita will add you to the group. Yes, how about others? Any questions?
Hi, Akash.
Yeah, hi, Sahir.
Yes, actually, it's not a question, but just to comment on this amazing topic that I was hearing my Buddhist and Hindu friends since a very long time saying we are gods. So when I heard this word as Muslim, I didn't accept it and so on. Then later on, with meditation and more knowledge. I say that I'm not discussing religions, but I didn't find anything in my religion that says the opposite. Actually, it was just framing and conditioning by the society only. So I totally agree with this. And once in one of my long meditations, I was asking myself in the beginning, myself or my God or whatever, I was just asking, who am I exactly? And I got the answer in a deep state, you are life. So I think, yes, we are all gods. And we are here to test this and to know this. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Akash. You made it very, very simple.
Thank you for sharing, Sir Bhai. The
Yeah,
thing is
thank
that, the thing is that, spirituality and religion are hand in glove. There's only one aspect about spirituality is that the religion actually keeps a confinement towards its practice, respective religions, whichever are there. And the difference is within spirituality, there is no confinements. There is no, actually, as such, there is no boundaries. There is no, uh, you know, framework or a, a frame around it. It's an open tent and it's an open space. In fact, all the religious learnings, they truly, in the deepest sense, when looked at with an open mind and heart, they merge into the spiritual learnings. So they become quite a big subset to it, or whatever we may call it. But in reality, spirituality is an open, wide space. It has no confinements, no boundaries. So, absolutely, I
Yeah, I
agree.
totally agree. We have to drop the frames first. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And we can talk. There are many teachings about all the various religious people, and many of the ascended masters are from various all religions, in fact. And their teachings, when they talk about their teachings specifically, we will see as Jesus speaks, as Guru Nanak Ji speaks, as various masters speak from different religions, Hindu masters or Christian or Muslim, they do refer to things which have been mentioned in the scripts, but the understanding of them will be, once it is open, it's very, very different. It's not related to any group, it's related to the whole humanity, so that everybody can benefit. So that's the bottom line. I would rather keep it here, because our minds are the ones which are barriers for us to really understand this, and I don't want to engage my mind into it. That's the whole point. Sometimes I learned it in a hard way, actually. Sometimes the mind, we try to address things through our mind, the human mind, but it's not enough. And I'm qualified engineer and double masters, and I am kind of drawn towards using it all the time, but I understand now that it's not enough. So that's the reason why I say that on a broader aspect, spirituality really covers everything, all the religions. However, it's an open space, subset religions actually merge into it. Okay, anybody has any questions?
Yes,
I
Akash
was
ji.
thinking, yes, Ram.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
brother.
we have also masters joining on YouTube, and
Oh, wow.
we have Anita ji, Vimala ji saying it's
Wow.
learning more, it's helping me carry on. No questions for now. And we
Oh,
have
wow.
Master Bhumika ji asking, how do we differentiate between ego self and being God self in the beginning of our journey, where we consider ourselves as God self or Christ self?
Hmm. Wow, this is a thoughtful question, Bhumika ji. Appreciate the question. Very nicely put. Thank you for doing that, Rambhai. Yeah, it's a big help that you're bringing forth the YouTube questions here. Yeah, I have a very short answer to it, and there is a little more depth to the answer as well. But the shorter version is what which I would be going through now in the interest of time. Simply put, Bhumika ji and everybody, our ego, human ego versus our God self. Well, the starting point to differentiate is our heart. Okay, uh, I can expand on it as much as anybody wants for hours together. But when we look at any situation from our mind, there is a certain quality of answers to it, uh, and I'm going to keep it generic so that it can be. It is an it is it's at abstract level, but you can relate to your situation. So when we look at a situation from our mind, there is a certain quality to our answer, and we start to engage with that situation in that way. And our thinking is oriented with that understanding, and our emotions or feelings are oriented around that around that answer. But if we look at the same situation from our heart, and when I say when we look at the same situation from our heart, what I mean is that we become more accepting, we become more open, we become more just accepting, more of letting things be in the mode of things are happening around us, and not from the state of making everything happen, like a state of control, a feeling of I am going to make it happen. Well, that part is what is really makes a big difference between the ego and the mind. Well, the ego would want to take on the credit, so to say, if I would use that word, or would like to feel the upliftment of solving a problem, or you know approaching a situation. The heart does not. The heart, rather, the heart would say that that's one of the ways we can resolve situations, and the heart would rather be in a position to feel the joy of just you know making the things possible, or making the situation resolvable, or addressing the situation to the best possible. And it will just be in joy, and in that joy it will be happy to share with others, to receive, so to say, different yeah, views and comments, and to be more accepting, rather I would say. It will be very joyous with no reason, like a child, I would say. We can use that as an example, perhaps. Like the child is very small child is okay, however situation is. It doesn't all. When we come from our heart, the external situations and the outcomes don't really bother. In fact, we start being more adaptive to it, and we start being more understanding towards how things are. We become more accepting, and at the same time, it doesn't mean that we don't do what is required. We continue to do it, but that doing is no more just an action. It's in a very more structured, interconnected way, and you will feel the difference, the way the things start to shape up. You become more trusting towards the God, towards the divine, and you would see the results coming. Uh, Maybe we are playing some part in it, but it's not that we are the only ones who are doing it. Or I would say, to be true to your to this answer, we are not really the doers. However, we are doing things. Like I am doing this small session, but I'm not the doer. Okay, that's a small answer to your question. Anybody else would like to? And I hope, Bhumika ji, and all of you, I did answer your question at least to a basic level, so that it gives you a little more clarity. So, Anybody else would like to ask a question on this slide?
I see Parvinder ji unmuted. Maybe he wished to share
Yes.
something.
Yes, sir. Parvinder ji. Hello.
Hanji sir. Hanji, Hanji.
Hanji Parvinder ji. I guess you had a question on this slide. Please go ahead. Okay. Well, it is good that if you ask questions and be interactive during the session. That's the whole idea. So it gives you most of the value out of it. And moving to the next slide, assuming nobody has questions.
Archie, I have one question.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Shivani here. So,
Yes.
I understand that I am presence, and like you explained, that it shouldn't be out of the ego, right? But then how do you differentiate between, and I understand the ego part also, but how do you differentiate कि ये वो कर रहे हैं या वो करवा रहे हैं या ये मैं कर रही हूँ? Sometimes there's a confusion in that, you know. And when you actually surrender and you say, Acha, he is the one who's doing it. So sometimes it becomes very convenient. He is the one who's doing it. It's not me.
Okay.
And then a lot of times you become in denial and then you are in your comfort zone and you feel, okay, even that comfort zone is coming from him. So how do you differentiate that part?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to ask you also, Shivani ji.
Yeah.
While you do things, similar things on a daily basis, have you experienced different type of excitement and fun around those things on a specific day? Like maybe you cook. I'm just assuming if you cook, maybe you cook and you prepared something, for the family evening meal, dinner. And one specific day, your experience was very different. Maybe somebody parents are coming and you're serving some guests or something like that. Can you say something about have your experience changed doing the same thing at a specific time, which you remember, like you say that it was very different?
I agree. Yes, it has been. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And when you say it has been, say a little more about it.
Okay, so yes, there are days, you're right. Otherwise, also, there are days where you can feel very joyful in whatever you're doing, irrespective of the outer actions that we are taking. Everything that we're doing in a day is very joyful. And then there are days where you say, I'm not really in a mood to do it. You don't really feel up to it. So yes, there has been, like what you asked, is every day different for you? So yes, that's very true. Like you said, cooking. Okay, so there might be days, when you are just enjoying it and you're joyful, and there are days you're just doing it because it's your duty or something. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we are close to the answer. And the reason why I ask you this is because it's not enough that I give this answer to anybody. The fact is, I mean, that's a fact. All of us have all the answers within us. The only thing we need to do to get an answer is to go within. And when I say we go within, is we need to connect with our most highest self in that aspect, to go within. And we all have that connection. That's our God self. Well, we are surrounded by so much of perversions, and I will explain about that word. But our lower bodies are so powerfully active, and our lower chakras are so powerfully active that it's very rare for us to experience the trueness of bliss, the trueness of love, the trueness of pure sheer joy. the trueness of doing pure things. So we do experience that in glimpses and pieces and bits, because of various reasons, because the imbalance in chakras, wrong eating and wrong psyche and all that. Now, answer to your question, Shivani ji, is that when we talk about that experience which you were referring to, all of us have that, and we do have a lot of them, but they happen in bits and pieces. That experience which really lights the bulb, which really brightens up our day, which really brings that smile, that smile which is of for no specific agenda, for no specific accomplishment, but just for itself, is the experience which we call as the connection with the God. Because I'll tell you, when we do the things, or when you see, we are using some examples of people, but it's there with all of us. So, but just to make a point, I'm just trying to create a better contrast to distinguish.
Okay.
When you look at an artist, okay, somebody who's painting, okay, or who's singing. My son sings, or I was a sport. I am a true sportsman by heart, but I really was playing. I played for my country up till 1993, and out of 40,000 skaters, all top class, only 5 were selected to go to who were representing our country from the government of India, and I reached to that stage of those 5. Now,
Okay.
when we play, okay, when I was playing, all of us have our true self, which is expressing in a form of an activity.
Hmm.
That's an intermediate stage where we can say that we are connecting to our true nature. That's our authentic nature. Okay, and I won't get carried away with any words, but that authenticness is our expression of the qualities which are close to the God qualities. Okay, so if we start only understanding what we are doing here, which I'm explaining now, or which we will go to the next, that will become very monotonous. It will become very mechanical and robotic. And eventually it will make no sense, because let's agree, all that we have read so far in our life has not changed our life, not this much. Okay, and we have, all of us are very well educated, and we have learned so many different
Yes.
things, different skills, different angles. I'm
Yes.
covering whatever it might be.
Hmm.
So, but the idea is not just to learn here, not just to grasp some more knowledge, okay, because it will really not help, but to actually experience it, start to apply it. And by applying, we will have to keep on doing it again and again. We'll make errors, we'll make mistakes. That's not the problem. Idea is to learn, is to basically experience it. Yeah. So the answer is that yes, we will come to know when we are being in that aspect of God's self, when we are really connecting to our true self. Some people just do. I'm doing this session, I just love it. Now I lost a track of myself, that I
Hmm.
am. I have many labels,
Yes.
Shivani ji. All of
Yes.
you have, right? So we have labels. Like I'm using my example now. My label is that I am a person who is, a head of delivery. In my family, I'm accountable for these many things. In my
Hmm.
life, I had experience with so many different people, and this is how I have become now. I'm a son to my parents, and a sibling, and the eldest of the sibling, and
Hmm.
then some different roles I play in my society where I live. Okay, as a
Hmm.
member over here in the association, there are 1,000 things, but
Hmm.
in true essence, these are the roles which I'm playing, and I'm trying to live according to those roles, and it becomes monotonous. But
Hmm.
as my expression, what I'm doing now is my expression.
Yeah.
I'm inside of my expression of my love to doing something. Now you might have cooked on those days out of love, for which you don't actually remember the recipe, you don't remember the time you spent, but you remember the experience of it.
Hmm.
These are the starting points. I mean, this is not the
True.
end of it. The
I
end of it,
agree.
at the end of this whole chain, or the end of this whole learning of these qualities, is very, very deep. And we all,
Yeah.
this is our goal, to go to that direction. And the
Mm.
master teachings are that. But when
Yes.
we do things inside of that gesture of just doing it, like, not my will, but thy will shall be. There's a saying by in the Bible, not quoting specifically a religion, but I'm just trying to
Mm.
say,
Mm. Mm.
मेरा मेरा काम नहीं होना है, भगवान
Mm.
का काम होना है. It's
Mm.
not my job which is getting fulfilled. It is God's will which is getting fulfilled. So sometimes we do things which is really are, you know, Are Shivani is on the planet and she's doing something, and it's like wet, the wet paint. If you see a wet
Yes.
paint, if you go
Yes.
close to a wet paint, no, and
Mm.
it'll just come onto your skin.
Mm.
Okay, and that's because that is our true nature. Others
Mm.
will see it from far, that yeah, this person is really, this is something really unique about this person. So those are the
Mm.
qualities which these are the starting points of being authentic. And that aspect is not ego. Why? Because when the ego comes, it wants to take credit.
Mm.
मैंने करा, I did this job, I am the
Mm.
one who is, okay, I'm doing this. You want to be at the center of the whole attention of, you want to be the center of attention. Not, I mean, this ego, this
Mm.
small self wants to be a center of attention,
Mm.
wants to be important,
Mm.
feel that importance. Sometimes it feels importance by speaking so much. Sometimes it feels importance by cribbing or being sulking, or getting that, doing all that drama act, so that it
Yes.
gets attention. And sometimes
Mhm.
it does things which are more violent, or outrageous also. I don't know,
Yes.
like
Different
being
ways of
angry, being
attention.
violent, and being
Yeah.
dramatic. So
Yeah.
it can go to that extent of blaming and angry and dramatic, or it can go to this extent of being sulking, of being again, in the
Mm.
mode of repention or whatever, sadness, depression.
Mhm.
None of it is our nature,
Mm.
but that's only for us, for that our small self to grab some attention. But that's not who we are.
Yes.
It's
True.
not easy, because the thing is that our ego will never leave us. The
Mhm.
gods have told, the masters have told, that ego will not leave us
Yeah.
until the last day of our life.
Yes.
There are masters who have made progress for consistently for the whole life, for few lives, and then in one life they let the ego take the control, and they slander down for all multiple lives. So
Mm.
sometimes we make progress consistently for months and years maybe, and then one day also we get into that mode of really bad. That's called as our subconscious or unconscious mind, and it drains us down, it slanders us down,
Mm.
down to all those hard work we have done. It's like snakes and ladders. You go up, and then one fine point time you just go down, directly down. So
Yes.
that's how ego works actually. So that's what it
Agreed.
is.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Akash. That was really wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for asking
Yeah.
this question.
Thank you.
So, going to the next slide, and in the interest of time, we'll cover some of it today. And if we are left with something, we'll maybe extend by 10 minutes, or if Brother Ram says it's okay. I'll try to cover as much as possible. So on the slide, if you see, we're talking about the first ray. And I want to tell you before I start that these rays are the God qualities. Each one of them are different God qualities. Okay, and they come from the 7 colors that we discussed in this slide. These are the 7 colors that we discussed. So each of these rays comes from these colors, and these colors represent the God qualities. Okay, and God gave us a free will, and uh, that was a gift given to all the humans. A free will was something which was long back. uh, free will was requested by a human who took birth on the planet, that we would like to practice a free will. Before the free will, everybody they had a very pure way of doing things. I'm talking of eons of years ago, and everything was in the perfect mode. It was all living up to the standards of God. So everybody was living at the level of God. But then somewhere down the line, this was eons of years ago. This was a request, and God gave all the people who were who took on the planet free will, who were over on the planet Earth. God, so He gave free will as a gift to all the human being, and eventually human beings started misusing the free will. So the misuse of the free will started creating bad karma. That's a brief about. Now the idea is that while this bad karma has been created, the intention is that we start to understand. Now we are at a stage where we hardly understand the God qualities, which are there in us. It's not that nothing is coming out of thin air. It's nothing external. It's all internal. But we need to be reminded of it because of various reasons. And we can keep talking about various reasons. I mean, our connection to the God has been depleted. Uh, our physical organs have been depleted. Our aura has been depleted. Okay, all that we have. It's a very thin connection right now. So for us to get reminded of the God qualities, one of the ways Ascended Masters chose was to directly start to prepare some of the people on the planet who will become messengers, and then start giving dictations, basically sending messages through them. And they happen through three different modes. One of the mode is that it directly happens by having the whole master's presence in the body of the messenger, and the messenger speaks. I mean, the ascended masters speak through the messenger, basically completely overtaking the body. And the second way is in which they receive messages in the thought form. Messengers receive messages from the ascended masters in the thought form, and then over a period of time, and then they assimilate and they pass that message. And the third thing is when actually the ascended masters are beaming that information to the messenger, and then the messenger is actually visually seeing those messages in the form of text, okay, and in the form of words, and then passing them through to the people, to various different crowds. Anyways, now the point is that first ray, if we are talking about the first ray today, and the first ray, it denotes Tuesday. Its color is blue. It has 16 petals, and the master who is responsible for this is El Morya. So various qualities and perversions are associated with the first ray. Before also going further, I would like to add that when we completely understand each ray, and we will do some exercises during the week. Okay. Now I want to make sure that we are having an interactive session so that it gives you more value. Okay. So that's the reason. It's not but God's will, so that we take this learning. Its idea is to basically imbibe it. Now, once we, play around with it, we will understand the meaning of it, and then we can have, question answers. But once we go through each ray and try to uh, fine tune ourselves in the God qualities and reduce on our perversions, basically the bad qualities. Finally, after doing this, we will reach to a stage where we will have an assessment. In that assessment, we will see out of these 7 rays, which is the dominant ray that we possess in ourselves. Okay. Now, why we need to know that is a question that you would have in your mind. Well, the reason why we might want to know that is because it will help us to connect with our particular lifetime, this particular lifetime purpose. Okay, while we are going to be working on all the qualities in tandem all through, but there is one specific quality that is going to be outshining the rest of them. And Ascended Masters told us that all of us are chelas, and okay, and we have come to this planet. Eventually we have come to this planet, but eventually we have come from the central sun, and from that we might have traveled through some planets to the planet Earth. Okay, that's a very big thing to talk about. It's a different subject, but I'm just trying to open this Pandora box of Pandora for you to at least come from an open heart and trust that this is how our evolution has happened. All of us have come from different planets, and we are on this planet Earth, maybe from lifetimes, we don't know how long. But the thing is that one of these rays, which is the dominant ray, will tell us the true essence of us for this particular birth, and the true essence, true purpose of us for this particular birth. And so that we can when we get clarity, the first thing that the clarity does is it helps us to reduce our deviations. And if the deviations are reduced, it will help us to move further, faster, and steadier, with more peace of mind also. So in short, it will help us to ease our troubles and focus more on what we are here for. Okay, so that's the intent. Actually, that's the intent that we have. That's the intent of Ascended Master. So you'll come to know which is your dominant ray, and you can connect more with those masters and those qualities, and you can know more about the various planets and the colors and all that. And once we do the whole workshop, finish the whole thing, this will be something which will be available to you, and I'll share with you how you can do your assessment. It is a very nice assessment. It will take up maybe some time for you, maybe an hour, but that's really going to be helping you to work more closely with the masters. Okay, now without further delay, so the first ray is about the qualities of the first ray is perfection, um, divine will. Essentially, it's will of God in one word. Okay, and it comes in the form of courage and self-control, God control. We're using word like God control, divine plan, and divine faith, because all these words are common to human control. So that's the reason why we use a prefix in most of the words. If you see them, God ordained, government, business, communication, banking. And on the flip side of this are our perversions. These are also part of us. We don't need to fight through them, but we need to be present through it. Now, within us, we have our divine connection. Within us, we have our, I would say, darkness, but we cannot disown any of it. So if we know our darkness better, wouldn't we be smart enough to deal with it? I think it is true. So we need to know about that also. Okay, you can differentiate with our human ego, and you can differentiate with, you can also say the word as God ego. I've learned this newly. God ego is the God quality. The word ego is used as a synonym to be able to differentiate, not from the aspect of the human understanding of a negative or a downgraded meaning to it, but it is from the meaning of the quality. Okay, so the perversions, so when we own them, when we own our darkness, it becomes easier for us to navigate through. Yeah, that's the idea. We don't need to feel less, even though we have done worst and worst of things in life. But then in that case, what we are doing is we are not attaching to it, because the idea is that we don't continue to practice it. The idea is that yes, we own it, and that is the only way. When God wanted us to know about this teaching, then God said, the Ascended Masters, they said that until you face your fears, you will never overcome them. So you don't have to hide behind any of your perversions or darkness, because that's part of us. So we have to face them. When we say that, you don't have to really dramatically say it, but then when we, like for example, somebody did a worse thing. I'm just choosing an example. They did a robbery. They stole something, or they spoke a lie. Very bad. Impacted somebody's life. And when they stand and they say that, I see my fear, I see that fear, I have done it, I have lied, then its control becomes loosened. Okay. Do you follow what I say? Yeah. Okay. I'll also say one more thing to you. It's a beautiful thing from Elizabeth Clare, where I'm going to read it. Okay. Hold on for a moment. Where she said that our devils, our darkness is not real until we give it that much amount of power. Okay. So what she said was, and she's a messenger, she's an ascended master now, and while she was speaking, she was a messenger. What she said was, our fears and all the darkness is delusion, it's not real. And when we can stand in front of it and say that it's not real, only then do we have a power to come forward or move across it. Okay. So that's what she said. I'm going to exactly find the quote and share with you in a while if I find it during this session. Otherwise, I'll message it in the group. So all these perversions, we are talking about imperfection, human will, state of harm, and we'll talk about that later in the section. I'll show you. And these are the colors. So our body is covered with different aura. And the Ascended Masters have told us that we don't need to get intrigued or carried away with our aura, because many people, they spend a lot of time in reading their aura. Okay, today I have done a lot of good work. I want to check my aura, whether it is moving towards the purity or not. So it's not a good idea, because it's really takes our attention away from doing the real work. But it's good to know that these are the different colors for the knowledge sake. So if our auras are in the range of gray, blue, blue, black, black, that means that we are covered with more of dense energy, the dark matter, okay, the lower energies. So as I was sharing that, we'll be talking about El Morya, and El Morya is he. If you see this picture, this is El Morya. Just for the sake of a moment, this is El Morya. Okay, so I just wanted you guys to have a snapshot. He's El Morya. El Morya, he is one of the very well-known figures to humans, because he had been on this planet up till 1898, almost a little more than 100 years ago, and in various embodiments. And one of his, just before the last embodiment, was Akbar. He was Akbar. Okay, so that's why I was telling that, all these masters have been in different religions. So religion is not the covering or the confinement in which we are talking. We're talking on a very, very broad scale. We will have ascended masters from all the cultures, all the religions, but they're not going to be talking about anything specific to a religion. However, they will cover a lot of things from various religions, because these are the true teachings. We're talking about the highest teachings right now. Okay, it's spiritual teaching. About El Morya, I'll read it just so that you know a little about him. He was a chief of Darjeeling Council of the Great White Brother. He is a chief of the Darjeeling Council of Great White Brotherhood, a Chauhan of the first ray as he is, and the hierarch of the etheric temple of goodwill over the Darjeeling region, India. So people go to Darjeeling and they feel more presence of El Morya, and we can actually write a letter to El Morya, and we before sleeping we can make a call to El Morya that we would like to visit your temple, and we would like to learn some lessons from you, take up a session and learning about a specific quality uh, from you, from the first ray. And since this is not a physical temple, it's an etheric temple, so you cannot see this temple. It's not on a physical plane, it's on the etheric plane, which means you can't see it. But the location is important. Every time it's important, because there are places where various masters have confirmed that they are operating from a specific region, and from there they operate, and they connect throughout the whole world. All right. Yeah. So he is also the founder of the Summit Lighthouse, from where all these most of these scriptures have been have been inherited, specifically the ones which I am right now reading from. And he's also a founder of Summit Lighthouse, and uh, Prophet Mark, and uh, also Elizabeth Clare Prophet. They Mark and Elizabeth, they both were husband and wife. They were the chosen messengers through which Al Morya had picked up this work, and they had created one of this movement, that is the Summit Lighthouse. It's not the only one, but this is one of the movements through which these teachings have been percolated to humans. I am referring to most of the scripts from Summit Lighthouse, just so that you know. Okay. Now, he represents the godly attributes of courage, certainty, power, uh, forthrightness. I'll talk about all of them later on. Okay. These are the qualities of father principle, the statesman, the executive ruler. Now, the way he used to rule was not from the authority, not from his, power of a ruler. He was not operating from those autocratic virtues or autocratic ways of ruling, but he was ruling from a being, somebody who is operating from God's quality. Now, what he says is his interpretation of government is God over men. Can you understand this? I've never heard this word before learning about El Moria. Government is a synonym to God over men. If a messenger who is understanding, who is a ruler, and I will share about his embodiments in the next slide, who is a ruler of a very big, country or multiple countries, is not operating out of being autocratic. But Akbar did that, by the way. Akbar brought Hindus and Muslims on a one platform of justice. Impossible what he did, impossible. But anyways, now what he did was he brought the the interpretation of government for him is God over men, and his concept of true statesman is God's over men. He inspires his subjects illumined obedience to the holy will of God. So if someone actually starts operating from God quality, then his true essence of power changes and transforms to bringing forth the will of God. And yet he has been very, very powerful, extremely powerful leader, very effective leader. Okay. Throughout his embodiments to the present hour from the ascended state, beloved El Moria has been as actively engaged in service to the light. As the son of Enoch, which is God, who walked with God and was not, for God took him. He continued to do that. He did not want to go, but he wanted to continue to serve humanity until really God asked him that you have to leave the planet because you have higher purpose. He continued to serve the humanity. I'll talk about what I mean by serving the humanity later on. That is the true essence of being divinely connected. That's the essence of divine consciousness. So in the ritual of ascension, as one of the seers who penetrated into the higher octaves of light in the ancient land of Ur, of the Chaldees, which is basically our great central sun, and as a native of Persia who worshipped the one god, Ahura Mazda. In these and during many of the embodiments, he learned to experiment the divine electricities. So he's quite a learned, and he used to practice, other than being a statesman and executive as a ruler, he also practiced these alchemies of experimenting with electricities, divine electricities. So becoming increasingly aware of the spiritual power flowing through man. Later, he became accomplished in the constructive use of Fohat. So that's again nothing but the science of human, connection with God, and the mysteries, electric power of cosmic consciousness, quiescent or active, that impelling vital force, which when called into action by divine fiat, moves the evolutions of the universe, a galactic or solar system, and even a human being from the beginning to the completion of the mission. So he's talking about how to integrate our chakras, our meridian centers, and generating them so strong that they start receiving the information directly from the God self, and which is a very divine quality, because when we start receiving the God qualities, it's like our cup is empty, but then this is our vessel. It is completely connected with the our higher self, and then starts receiving the information. And you can say that this is our cup and we are receiving the nectar from the source. You can say it like that. Okay, so if you look at this, his one of the earliest, so there were more than 100 different embodiments. I have picked up some 7, but there have been lot of embodiments of El Morya up until 1898, as I mentioned. So one of his early embodiments, which we have captured, is which we can relate to, and they have been before that also. But one of the early embodiments which we can relate to is Abraham, and I think Abraham is known to almost all of you, considering that all of you have a little bent towards spiritual knowledge. Abraham was key in bringing forth the Christianity and also the Islamic culture. Born in 2100 before Christ, the first Hebrew patriarch, the prototype and the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all trace their origins back to Abraham. So just imagine, we are talking about 4 important religions, major religions over here, and they are sourcing back to one ascended master. So I want you to point your attention to this, the depth and the real meaning of what we are talking right now. And that is why I say that these learnings have a lot of depth to it. And this is an eye opener to all of us. I am Hindu, okay, from my religion, but I never ever knew that this depth also exists, that we all are one. I mean, this aspect of religion is such a myopic view in which we look at God. So God is much beyond that. And then the next embodiment is Melchior, returning of Melchior, one of the 3 wise men of East. He followed the star that portended the birth of best of his seed, who would fulfill all the promises of God unto his spiritual descendants. Okay. Then King Arthur, I think many of us know about King Arthur, in the 5th century after death. The guru of mystery school at Camelot. He guarded the inner teachings of, he summoned knights of the round table and ladies of the court to quest the holy grail and to attain through initiation of mysteries of Christ. There have been many embodiments, like the one which I'm going to talk about now, Thomas Pitek, where he actually was a key member of the king at that time, and then he uh, resigned his role as a statesman, and then started to get started to basically create a revolution, so that the true teachings of God at that point of time, as a Christ, Jesus Christ, could be shown to the world. And he really had to walk his talk, and at one point of time he was executed as well. So in this particular embodiment, he was the Lord Chancellor of England, and he was also a good friend and the advisor of King Henry II. So when he became an Archbishop of Canterbury, forcing that his duties as Archbishop would inevitably conflict with the king's will, he had to resign. And then later on, he was, he was beheaded by the king for disobeying king's wish. I have not mentioned that here, but then that's what happened. In the story, if you read about this, about Thomas Bedect. But then that did not stop him from being who he was. That's who El Moria was. Because unless we see, unless Jesus did display that he can walk the talk, it's not possible for humans to believe. So unless he really showed, displayed the true virtue of being a chela, of being a messenger, it's very difficult for humans to understand what he is really meaning. What does he stand for? And then I'm going to skip Thomas More and reading Akbar. So Morya was next embodied as Akbar in 15th century, a founder of Mughal Empire in India, and the greatest of its ruler during his reign. He ended all the discrimination against the Hindus and accepted them into the government, serving on an equal basis with the Muslims. So this was something which was very unique, unheard of by his ancestors as a Muslim Islamic leader, or unheard of this kind of leadership even by Hindu leaders. So that's what he did. And then his last embodiment was El Morya Khan. In his final embodiment, El Morya was born as a Rajput prince in India, and later he became monk, frequenting the retreats of the Himalayas as the master aim. He, together with Kuthumi, who is a master of psychology, and Jwal Kul, who is basically a master of various energies, chakra energies, and a few other things, attempted to acquaint mankind with the workings of the law and hierarchy through the writings of Mem and Blavatsky. Yeah, so now after 1898, after he ascended, he continues to do his great work for the God government on earth through the flame of goodwill and his embodied chelas. Okay, now we're going to talk about, as I was mentioning, about various qualities. We will be talking about those qualities now, qualities as well as perversions. So what does it mean by perfection? As per Ascended Master, the divine perfection is nothing but it comes from the understanding of love, the truest form, love. Love is the synonym of light. I'm just reading this because I've prepared these notes, and I tried to concise them in a very brief manner, summarize them in 2 lines. But these qualities have to be, I just want to mention this. Just to master one quality, it takes up one lifetime. And Gautama Buddha, for example, when he was to the stage where he reached of ascension, where Gautama Buddha, as we know him, a life before that particular life when he got ascended, he took birth to master only one of the aspects of God quality. And I'm talking about the fine tuning part, where we talk about secret rays, 5 secret rays. And each ray has 2 qualities, masculine and feminine. So there were 10 qualities. Out of those 10 qualities, for one specific quality, he took one lifetime to master. And then before that, he had mastered all of them. So it takes up lifetimes to master these qualities. So I'm just going to be using one liner. Excuse me. Okay, bhai. Thank you, bhai. Thank you, Sahir, bhai. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm just trying to bring forth something. Hopefully, it will be of use to you. Yeah, thank you. Excuse me. Give me a moment. Okay, so perfection. This is not about human understanding of perfection. No, I don't mean when we say perfection to master the way we do things, but to master love. Here, the perfection is in the God's eye. It's to master love, is to understand love in the purest essence, not from the essence of human beings. It's not from the essence of of loving somebody from duality, but from the essence of purity, from the essence of singularity, from the essence of oneness, is what I'm talking about. The love which comes from no duality. That's God's love. That's light. That's very different. And we should listen to it and try to breathe through it, try to introspect through it, and we would gradually understand this meaning of it. So light comes from our God self, our pure energy, our Jivatma, our Atma and Brahmatma are made of light. When we begin to understand that our origin is in our I am presence, we begin to feel the connectivity with Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, which are present in our heart as the threefold flame. And some of you who don't know about the threefold flame, we will you'll please visit the previous lectures, and you'll get more understanding about that. We can talk about that sometime later if we have time. And then we have God will. So there is only one will, and that is the will of God. There are no two wills. There's only one will of God. When we don't accept the will of God, then the problems start. We start working at the human will. And what we do at that point of time is we don't know it. None of us know it, but we start operating at the level of rebellion. A level of rebellion is where we do things, but we do it with polarity. We don't do it with oneness. And our agendas become agendas of human mind, and that's the rebellion aspect. That's the rebel which is talking, always questioning things, always doubting things, always that's the ego part coming in between. Okay, we become selfish, we become self-centered, we become egoistic, we could become self perversions, all that. Okay, because that's against the will of God. So when we surrender our human ego, our human will, we get in touch with the divine will. Quite interesting, huh? That's how we are, and it's okay. Yeah. And the next quality is the protection and the construction direction. So all these are all working together. Protection of the divine qualities in us as we begin to construct our lives tier by tier. It's like building our house in the new way all over again. We have to surrender. So God messengers have shared this message to us, the God's message to us, that for us to become the masters in the God's qualities, first requirement is to surrender. The surrendering is, what does it mean, is that to surrender what we know. And from that perspective, it's our asset. For us, it's all we have. That's all we have. So that is what he means by deconstructing and then constructing. So this happens in our psyche. We start building a new house in a new way. That is when we demolish the old house and then we start building a new house. That's what it means. Okay. Faith. Well, when you stop questioning from the human mind and have faith. The journey starts. It's a process which requires a continued surrendering, letting go of old ways of thinking, doing prayers and asking, and also then start doing prayers, and then basically surrendering and giving up our old ways, and then picking up, adapting the new ways, which is prayers and asking question to ascended masters to assist us. For example, ask El Morya, write a letter to Master El Morya. Ask your questions to El Morya in your own language, no format, no right way, no specific uh, protocol of writing, just in your own language, because he is very close to us. He will help us, he will assist us. Now then, going within with our questions and doubts and being willing to be ready to hear the answers. And that's what I was telling Shivani ji, that our answers are within us. We have to have faith. Okay, simple word, but if you look at from God's eye, this has a huge benefit, huge power. Then it's obedience, love of God and his way and his laws. So to be consistent and to be meticulous in obeying immediately the voice of consciousness, which is the voice of God's self in us. To know God's will, we must nurture self-discipline and muster will power to surrender the not self. It is not easy. It's not uh, uh, undoable, but it's not easy. But with consistent practice and discipline, we can accomplish this, obeying to the will of God. And we can start by surrendering to our agendas. Start with surrendering to our agendas. Start with not looking at everything critically. And that is a starting point. You being here already says that you are at that state of surrendering. So extend that to your people. I urge you, and I also request you humbly to extend this to your people. Extend this to the people you don't like, extend this to the people you like, to everybody. Start to be in the mode of surrender. Yeah. And then we have light, energy, power, courage. So these three names actually mean the same. In other words, the light is an energy and power. As mentioned before, we are being of light and not of flesh and blood. So we are not matter. Of course, we are on the physical realm, but on the highest self of our truest self, of our God self, we are energy, we are vibration. That's who we are. We are light. And that's the highest form of ourself. Our highest self is energy. It exists very much, but not in flesh and blood. So when we understand this and we begin to walk the path of light, the blockages to the light in us are removed and the flow of light increases to on our chakras. When our chakras start to integrate and balance, and then they are operating at their highest capacities, we start to experience the God qualities. We begin to feel more empowered in us, including the boldness, the courage, the confidence. This courage has a subtle amount of patience in it. This confidence has a such certain amount of calmness in it. This boldness has a certain amount of peace in it. They are so balanced. That's what I mean. Then the dominion, God control, God desire. This word of God control, God desire, it's very important to understand. So the quality of God desire means to crave for only those desires that are pure and holy. When one begins to manifest those desires, he begins to have control over his feelings and thoughts. In other words, his vibration becomes that of God, God's self, and he makes himself worthy to make dominion over the negative forces of the world. Because eventually, let's face it, 90 more than 90% of the environment is only dark. It's only darkness. It's only our lower energies. But when we start to orient around the God desires, the God will, the God control, what we're doing is we are completely dissolving our craving to fulfill what we want, but we are surrendering that to what God wants. Okay. And as I mentioned, that starting point is to start operating from your heart. You start to see life differently, because what you will need, the desires you will have, why do you need money, why do you need power, will change. You might need power, you might need money, you might need wisdom, but the reasons will change. You might need affection, but the reasons will change. And that's the whole differentiating point. Okay, you will feel that difference. You start becoming, you'll let the control over with the God, hand it over to God. I'll read this again. When one begins to manifest those desires, he begins to have control over his feelings and thoughts. In other words, his vibration becomes that of God's self, and he makes himself worthy to make dominion over the negative forces of the world. Now, then we have God ordained government, business, commerce, transportation, communication, banking. Here, as I mentioned earlier, the word government means God over men. When a person has a sufficient mastery over his four lower bodies and has balanced most of the karma, he makes himself a tool and an instrument to bring forth the divine principles of heaven on earth in running government, business, commerce, transportation, communication, banking, etc. Those are the golden age or Satyuga ideas of manifestation. Have you not experienced some of the people who are doing God's work? I can name some people here, but I'm not doing that just because I don't want you to feel that I am polarized towards somebody. It doesn't matter who it is, but there are certain people who are doing God's work. If you follow them, of course, at least one or two, you will see that the difference between the way they operate is the difference between being just a human being and being somebody who's doing it as per the God's will. And that's what I mean. People are there who are running governments, who are running businesses, their commerce, with their different type of agendas. They are running ministries, or I would say, at the religious level, they are, being in charge of some of these temples and organizations. And then in every sector, whether it's banking or politics or even religious aspects, they are working from God's will. They are so open-hearted. So that's what it means. When you reach to that state, that's Satyuga. Ideas of Satyuga in manifestation. And then we have cosmic and natural laws. The laws of cosmos are natural laws, which for that person become clear and to understand and embody under the first ray of the will of God. What does it mean? So the laws of cosmos are natural laws. It is something that we understand, which becomes our second nature. For us, that's when we are aligned with the God quality. And they become clear to understand. We become so clear that we understand them very, very well. Okay. And then we start practicing the will of God. So when one realizes that there is nothing personal about happening in him or her, and it is a common process to entire world, like whatever is happening to Akash, whatever is happening to Ram Bhai, to Madhu, to Shivani ji, to Bonita, to all of you, is not specific, but it's a part of the process. And but it sounds to be very specific in current lifetime, what Akash is facing, what Ram Bhai is facing, what Sister Madhu is facing, what Shwani ji is facing, what Benita is facing, and what other Nisha is facing, what Sahir Bhai is facing. All of us are facing different things. Makes us different, makes us unique, makes us very unique. But we forget that we, in another lifetime, which is unique, which we feel unique right now, or we see that somebody else is facing, is very different to us. We have a different eye towards it. In the next lifetime, we experience that. And in many, many, many lifetimes, we would experience everything that we feel is different. So we start realizing in this lifetime itself that nothing that is happening is personal. Nothing is personal, nothing. Everything is a part of the process to the whole world. So at that stage, at one moment. Okay, we will experience all that. When we start living like this, we are cosmically interconnected through the cosmic consciousness. And that is nothing what it means by the cosmic and the natural laws. We become the part of the divine intelligence. We become the part of the divine consciousness. I think that is what Ram Bhai also was stating, that we start aligning towards that true God consciousness. We start aligning with God. Okay. So we have completed one portion. Then we have perversions, but I'll just stop here uh, for you to ask questions. And if there is some more time, if Rambai agrees, then we will, or maybe if in fact, if he feels there is more time, then we can go to another slide. We have two more slides, but I open this for questions for the moment. Any questions, brothers and sisters, you have right now?
There is no any time limitation, Akash Bhai. If you would like to go ahead, please go
Okay.
as
Okay.
per our friends who are here, how they resonate. You can take more time. Just
Okay.
no issue.
I have some of them have dropped off, brother. We only have Shivani, Sahir, of course, Madhuji, Bonita, and someone is from the Grace meditation group as well. So, Beam meditation group as well. So, yes, friends, any questions? Okay, how was it so far? Are you following it? Is it going a little ahead of time? I mean, are you able to relate to it, or you feel it's a little ahead, going a little on top of the head right now? What do you feel? I see at least 5 people. Yeah, I'd like to hear from you. How is it going so far? Is it making sense? Yes, Sahir Bhai, you're trying to say
Hello.
something. Yes.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I'm amazed the way, and I wish to continue more of this session. So please don't put any time limitations like Ram was just saying. And I especially relate to Abraham's story, and I was researching it since a long time because um, he became one of my role models, because he didn't get any messages from God in the beginning or something, but according to history, but he was just refusing his society, the frames, like you were saying before, and just meditated until he found his connection to God. So is really fascinating, but it's the first time we to hear. He's so amazed. That's really amazing. Thank you so much for keeping it simple, Akash. And please continue as you can.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, I'm sure it will resonate if we are open, even if we don't have any spiritual inclination earlier or knowledge. But if we are just coming with an open heart and mind, it will resonate. But for sure, if as you have
Exactly.
been following Abraham, now you see how everything is linked. There is no bracket or confinement of any religion, because he has lived through so many embodiments already, and this is what I'm referring to right now. That we understand the depth of these teachings from the aspect of ascended masters, not from the aspect of any previous learnings that we have. And it will, so to say, it will knock our socks off, because most of the things that we will learn here wouldn't have been spoken before, because these teachings were not so, they were not been mentioned in any of the scriptures. And that is why it appears to be new, I would say, though they have not been, they have been there from eons of years. So yeah, thanks, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And
And
something more to add, sorry. That
I'm sorry.
according to
Your voice is breaking, brother.
Oh, he's sorry, let me disconnect the. Yeah, so if you follow these societies who back to their religions and so on, he will be innocent. So I got you saying, yeah.
I can't quite make out the last word. If you can just, there's a poor connection, brother. Maybe you can just put it in the text box, and if there is a question, but anything also, if you have a comment, maybe you just put it in the text box for the moment. I have a comment from Shivani Ji. It says, "Thank you, Kash Ji, for the time. Divine nectar and wisdom. Looking forward for more divine." Yes, Shivani Ji, it's a pleasure that you are here. The reason that we are here, Ram Bhai is here, I am here, because you are here. The teachings from Ascended Masters is about spreading the word. And I feel that we are all part of this link. What I received some time ago, Brother Ram received from his masters, his parents, he is sharing, I am sharing. And so are you, all of us, going to be doing that. So that's the whole intent. So I also thank you for being here. Thank you. Who is Beam Meditation? Can you share your name, please? And I appreciate about your comments.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, Seema over here. Seema.
Yeah, Seema ji.
Yeah, Seema. Yeah.
From Odisha.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you like the session so far. Any questions?
Yes. No question, but I'm able to connect it, and I'm able to understand what you're saying. Actually, here at present, we are doing Journey Towards True Path classes, so I'm able to connect it.
Okay. Bunita ji, thank you so much. Thanks to you for being here and listening. Is it resonating with you, Bunita ji? Is the information resonating with you? You can unmute. Would you like to say something, Bunita ji? Okay, I think you're on text. Okay, fine, sure. No problem, that's okay, no problem. Yeah. My intention is that you're able to get the information. So, okay, great. And Vimla ji, you would like to say something? Are you able to follow the teachings, Vimla ji? This was your first session. Okay, maybe perhaps we'll move on. So we'll have just 2 more slides, and then there is a 20 minutes of nice chakra meditation. So I'll take your consent before starting that meditation if the time allows. But now we're going to the perversions. So this is the flip side, the dark side of the God qualities. So all of us have them in us in different degrees. And one aspect about a human being which we must remember is that we are always operating at multiple consciousness levels. But if we are focused and we are practicing certain things with mindfulness, like the God qualities, and also we are working on surrendering, it will really help us to connect to the higher consciousness. And also doing some specific meditations. We will do one of them today, which is a chakra cleansing meditation. Very, very powerful meditation. We are glad that this meditation has been shared with us openly, which was not the case earlier. So I have this consent, and it's in directly from the Elizabeth Clare's voice, and yeah, and it has been explained very nicely. So you will be guided through that meditation. Anyways, so when we start doing some meditation, form of meditation, and doing some cleansing, and also doing decree, and also working on our psychology, okay, surrendering to various perversions, we will observe that we are starting to incline towards the qualities, and not towards the perversions. So the goal is to move from the human ego to the God ego. Now, why we say God ego is because we are still at the stage where we are going to be at the human stage, and we are starting to move towards the God qualities. And we understand this at a psychic level, at a human level, until we are on the planet. So our meditations, they help us to disconnect from the negative things and still be at a we use our intellect so that we can practice all the positive or the God qualities. Okay, uh, I would refrain from using more words because it will create more questions, but let's start to use them, practice them, implement them, and experience them, and then let's talk about them further. Okay, otherwise it just becomes a theory. All right, so now first perversion is the imperfection. Imperfection means the lack of understanding and the meaning of divine love, which is basically the ultimate oneness. When we operate from duality, always have a question, we have a human questioning mind, we are operating inside of our imperfection. Okay, now what is relative and what is dual, and what is oneness and what is singular? Relativity and duality means that we have good and we have bad, we have love and we have hate, we have white and we have black. In other words, there is only one coin of love to look from, and when we look at from that, it is divine love. But in polarity, when in singularity one sees, or in polarity one sees both sides. Okay, sorry, in singularity one sees both sides written as love on the coin. So we don't have an aspect of negativity to polarity or to singularity. It's only one. That's the oneness that we're talking about. So so our idea is to move from the duality to polarity, from duality to singularity. Okay, now that person loves himself and others unconditionally, but in duality one sees that one side of the coin is written love and the other side as hate, and that person is loving with the conditions. Okay, okay bhai, sure bhai, no problem. uh, I will take care of it, and I will, once this is over, I will end the session, and you can move on, brother. It's absolutely okay. Yeah, and thank you so much for being all this while. I have a deep love you, brother. Love you so much, and uh, deep reverence to you. Thank you. God bless you. And then we talk about the human will. In simple terms, this person is driven by a human ego. When we were talking earlier about God will, so opposite to the, so all we have studied earlier is the human, is the God qualities. Opposite to that are human qualities, or you would say human perversions. So a person who is driven by human ego, his motto is to do my way or highway. जो मेरी बात नहीं तो और किसी की बात नहीं. I don't care. That's the approach, and that is all that we talk about. Person becomes self-inflicting, or always like a narcissistic, like a nihilism. Nihilism, if you heard of this word, it means the people who don't believe in specifically anybody. They say that there is no God, there is nothing. They say there is nothing that exists. They don't believe in anything actually. Total non-believers. So sometimes being so independent and so that believing in nothingness can result into nihilism, and it's a different form of pride. When we see people who are operating out of saying, I'm free, nothing happens, nothing matters to me, I don't care about anything, I don't believe in anything, I'm really free. So that freeness, on the other side of that is a duality, which means that they're actually, you know, they're being in so much of pride that it's a deep level of pride. Actually, it's a very strong pride. Yeah. And then the next is the state of harm, danger, destruction, haphazard, willy-nilly existence, which means a person is not a builder of a consciousness of God, but he's a destroyer of the divine pillars in the manifestation. He is a destroyer of the God consciousness, as he goes against the God will of God, knowingly or unknowingly. Some examples are extremism, female abuse, scandalize, killing or genocide, mass killing, mass murders, misuse of politics. Haven't we all seen that? I think in this age, these are more prominent, dominant. We don't have to quote any examples because everything around us is switch on the TV, just open the newspaper. Everywhere you will find examples of this. Yeah, that's what's happening. And then it's doubt. A person who is not aligned with the will of God and he has no applied faith, but faith only in theory to boost around. Okay, he doubts everything. Yeah, so it's seen that people feel that, you know, I don't believe in God and I don't have faith, but I want to question everything. But in your own life, just see the examples. How many times you have been out of answers to something which is very real, and then you feel that, Arey Baba, you don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand my truth. Well, the person doesn't understand your truth. They understand what you really mean is because they only look for logic, only look for some theory, some proven theory. And that is where it disconnects us. We also do that. So this doubt that we have to come from a state of faith. We have to come from a state of trust. Not blind trust, not blind faith, but open mind, open heart. Yeah. Disobedience, defiance, rebellion against God's laws. This person is in a state of disobedience, defiance, rebellion against himself and against all laws of the nature. Absence of light, energy, vacillation, impotence, cowardice. Well, it's very clear from its name. Vacillation is nothing but, vacillation is nothing but who is always rebelling. A person who has set himself against the first ray of the will of God is misusing that light and has already misused the light and is stealing the light from others to live by conceit, deceit, and other unlawful means. Subjection, psychic manipulation, black magic. It's very clear from the words. The people who operate against the will of God manipulate others through practices of black magic, manipulation, etc. Disorganization in the affairs and economy of nations and societies resulting from mortal codes. Such people, when they get to high positions in government or societies, disobey moral codes and use corrupt practices to take personal advantages. Doesn't sound unfamiliar, right? Very familiar. And that's what I said, that 90% or more of the environment is basically filled with these examples. So our journey or our path definitely needs a lot of discipline, focus, and obedience. Mortal laws and lawlessness. Such people engage in violations of mortal laws and engage in practices of lawlessness. Okay, now any questions? I think we are at the end of the session, and I have listed on some practices that will help you to orient around yourselves. You can just schedule preferably a constant time on a daily basis to do your decrees. The ideal thing is to do 15 minutes of violet flame decrees, and then you can do other decrees as per the day. Each day has some specific decrees, which I'll come to later on. And then you can bring your attention. I'll come to this later. Let's see if you have any questions. Any questions? Seema ji, koi question? Sahib bhai, Bonita, any questions? It's okay, Bonita, you can unmute if you have questions.
Hello, Akash.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Yes, Sahir.
Years or yeah.
Your voice is a little scratchy, but go ahead, no problem. Go ahead. Let me see.
Okay, no questions so far because it's very clear. But you suggest that the only way to realize the God self is to surrender to it. I mean to believe with the surrender at the first stage, let's say.
So because of the scratchy sound, there's a lot of glitches in the voice. I don't understand fully, but I guess you're asking if to practice the way to practice God quality is to surrender, and the answer is you are right, you are correct. And I will also give you some more practices, Brother Sahir, because we feel that we can do everything ourselves. And the Ascended Masters have told that the people who think that they can do everything themselves are in the human pride. Eventually, during the sessions, I will go through the different facets of pride. And you will be shocked, I was shocked, to realize that how much pride we have from the standards of God. I promise you, all of you will be shocked because certain things which we do, we don't relate to them as pride, fall in a category from God's eye in that. So that is one. I mean, yes, surrender is one. And then the second thing is, as I mentioned, that you need to take help. Everything is not done by us. So the help that we need to take is by doing decrees. We do start doing chant these mantras, which I have shared in the last slide. All that you need to do is you need to follow this particular order. I have made it easy for you. 7-step order. So you schedule a preferable time, start doing the decrees, 15 minutes of violet flame, and every some particular decree for that particular day of the week, and then bring that situation that you have or the issue that you have in your presence. Be present to that situation that you want to be resolved, that you want to resolve. And then the first thing that you do is you make a protection decree. And the protection decree is done because while we do these chanting, our lower bodies or the dark energies, they want to take over. They want to have an importance. Okay, so that we don't get completely engulfed with the humanness that we have, because that is what is keeping us in the lower states, dense, that density is increasing. We do a protection decree. It helps us to protect from the dark energy and the evil energy, so to say. We do this decree, and then we do a preamble. And then preamble is nothing but the invocation prayer before the decree. And then we speak, when we do the decree, we do it very clearly. We speak each word clearly, with respect, with concentration, attention. And gradually we increase the speed of the particular decree that we're doing. And we also increase the number of repetitions. And then we visualize while we do the decree. that we are enveloped in a 9 meters in the dia and in the height, a small tube in which we are enveloped, okay? And it's a tube of violet flame and white, diamond shining white light of God. And then we are standing in that along with our issue, and then we do our decree, okay? We do our protection decree, invocation, we do the invocation, and then finally we close the decree. So these steps have been highlighted. Sorry, it's 7. So you can go through it, and this will help you. And in the last, I have mentioned all the decrees, so you can read them. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions? Bunita ji, you can unmute if you had a question. It's okay. We'll see if there is some scratchy sound, no problem. Okay. Okay, let's start the. I think it's only 3 people now. So it's Seema ji, Bunita, and Sahir. So I would like to ask you, and I want you to reply to me in chat or by unmuting. Would you like to do the 20 minutes of chakra healing session?
Yes, please, Akash. Yes, of course, yes.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Bunita is saying okay, yeah. And Seema is also saying yes, okay. Sure, friends, we'll do it. Then let's, I would request you to find a stationary place and with a very firm base. Preferably you can sit in with your legs crossed. In fact, rather than that, I think you sit on a chair, that's okay. Or you can lie down also, both is fine. Not legs crossed, I would say again. Either you sit down on a chair or you lie down, of course, facing on towards your face, facing towards the ceiling. And of course, a quiet place. You need a quiet place. Let me know when you're ready. I need your thumbs up.
Ready, Akash. Ready.
Okay, great. What about Seema ji and Bunita? Okay, Bunita is saying yes. Okay, let's start.
Archangel Gabriel has given us a special meditation to seal and balance the light in our chakras so that day by day we can reach for the heights of our spiritual potential. Give this chakra meditation upon awakening and throughout the day, especially when you need a spiritual boost. First of all, place your left hand over your heart chakra in the center of your chest, like this. Use your 3 fingers, your thumb and 2 fingers, and keep this focus here throughout this meditation. The left hand is not going to move, so it's here till we have finished. Now place your right hand over your left hand, as I am doing right now. I'm putting my right hand over the left hand that I first put here over the heart chakra. Here's the center of your heart with your thumb, index finger, and middle finger. It's right in the center. My left hand. My right hand goes on top of it, so both hands are together. Visualize your right palm drawing forth a fiery white disk from the secret chamber of your heart. Do this now as a visualization. Visualize your right palm drawing forth a fiery white disk. Feel yourself pulling this disk with intensity. It is from the secret chamber of your heart. Archangel Gabriel calls this white disc an electrode of energy. An electrode of energy. Feel your palm pulling out this white light, which you will now use to nourish each chakra. With your hands still over your heart chakra, feel the fire of God. Visualize it, feel it, pull on it, like you're pulling something down from God. Intensifying in your heart chakra and in the threefold flame in the secret chamber of your heart. Feel the warmth of the love that is in your heart. Now remember to leave your left hand on your heart chakra. Now remove your right hand from being over that left hand. So now your right hand is free. Place your right hand 1 to 2 inches above your crown chakra at the top of the head, as I am doing right now. Right hand 1 to 2 inches above your crown chakra at the top of your head. You are drawing energy from your heart chakra with your left palm, which remains right where it is. You're drawing energy from your heart chakra with your left palm. You are placing this energy over your crown chakra with your right palm. See the crown chakra as a brilliant golden yellow. It has 1,000 petals. Feel the connection of light as it flows through your right palm to your crown chakra. As you practice this meditation daily, you will develop a sensitivity in the centers of your palms and in your 7 chakras. Whatever you do with repetition, which God has approved, can only intensify and ultimately glorify you. Close your eyes and visualize this white fire disk of God's energy, charging your crown chakra, stimulating it by the power of the secret rays through your right hand, balancing it. To activate the flow of light, rotate your right hand slightly clockwise. When you feel the flow of light intensify, move your right hand to about 1 inch in front of your third eye. You're going from the crown chakra to the third eye with your right hand. The left hand is still in the center of the heart. The third eye is located between your eyebrows. Although your chakras are positioned along your spinal column, for this exercise, you will always be moving your right hand to the corresponding position along the front of your body. Visualize the white fire disk in your right hand, spinning over your third eye. Your third eye chakra has 96 petals. It is emerald green. Rotate your right hand clockwise over your third eye chakra. Feel the energy activating your third eye, the all-seeing eye of God. You can do this for shorter or longer periods of time, depending on how long you want to be in meditation. If you feel any pain in your third eye, move to the next step. You don't want to overstimulate the chakras at first. When you are ready, move your right hand to an inch in front of your throat chakra at the base of the neck. Your throat chakra has 16 petals. See it as an intense blue. Fiery blue radiance of the diamond shining mind of God. Visualize the disk of dazzling white fire activating your throat chakra as you rotate your right hand in a clockwise direction. See your throat chakra being activated, purified, balanced, and healed. See it taking place. See the diamonds, sapphires, sparkling jewels that purify all misuses of the throat chakra, of anger, of all that is less than Christ's perfection. Dedicate your voice and your throat chakra to delivering the Word of God and the Ascended Masters to the world. Your throat chakra is the chakra of speech. Do not use this chakra to argue, to express impatience, or to send forth anger. When you do that, it pulls you down and lowers your vibration. Consider your throat chakra as a gift God has given you to bless all life with kindness and compassion, with teaching and helpfulness. With your left hand still in the center of your chest, over your heart chakra, move your right hand to an inch over your heart chakra. Your heart chakra has 12 petals. It is pink. Feel the light of God charging your heart chakra as you rotate your hand. Feel the light intensifying through the petals of your heart chakra. Take several deep breaths. Now move your right hand to an inch over your solar plexus chakra at the point of the navel. The right hand is over the solar plexus, the point of the navel. We're going around gently as we go around the clock over the solar plexus chakra. We want it sealed and balanced as we want all of our chakras sealed and balanced. The 10-petaled purple and gold chakra is referred to as the place of the sun. Feel God's light going into your solar plexus chakra. Feel that light establishing God's peace as you rotate your right hand in a clockwise direction. Let go of all that is not peaceful in your life, in your conversation, in your thoughts, in your feelings. Peace. Peace is the quality of the solar plexus. Are you dealing with knotty problems in your life? Is your solar plexus tight because your energy is tied up in these problems? Don't hold on to your problems. Turn them over to God. Forgive others 70 times 7, as Jesus said. Let's not carry our grudges for months or years, for a lifetime or even into the next life. Now is the time to cast them into the violet fire. Don't let human foibles tie up the energies of your crystal cord. Move your right hand to an inch over your seat of the soul chakra. This is midway between the solar plexus and the base of the spine. So this is the seat of the soul where my hand is. And this is the point, right at this place. It's below the navel. It's just below the navel. That is the place where you commune with your soul and where your soul gives you readings of what is going on in your life and in the world, where the soul gives you warnings. So if you establish peace in the solar plexus, then you have the opportunity to also clear the seat of the soul chakra with a violet flame, so that at any time, 24 hours a day, you may have sensitivity to good things, to good angels, or of burdens that weigh heavy upon the nation or your family or yourself. The seat of the soul is a point of communication for us that is very valuable. This is the place where you trust your gut reaction. That is the soul that knows. The seat of the soul chakra has 6 petals. Its color is violet. Visualize the dazzling white disc over your seat of the soul chakra. Rotate your right hand in a clockwise direction. If your soul is active and you also speak to your inner child, you will find deep inner guidance from this chakra, the seat of the soul. Rotate your right hand in a clockwise direction. Move your right hand to an inch in front of your base of the spine chakra. This is at the very base of the spine. Four petals in this white chakra, the white chakra of the Divine Mother, the white chakra of the goddess Kundalini that rises upon the altar and with training can be anchored in the crown chakra or the third eye. This is the source of life. This is our mother who has given us birth from the foundation of the world, truly the foundation of the physical body. Rotate your right hand over this four-petaled white chakra. You are sealing the white light of the mother as you do this. You are stimulating and balancing the base chakra as well as the flow of the Kundalini up the spinal altar. With your left hand still over your heart chakra, raise your right hand up the line of your chakras from the base to the crown. We will do this slowly. We are at the base at this time, and we take our hand and we raise it slowly, gently, beginning at the base, pausing at each chakra until you feel balance in that chakra. You might be sensitive to one chakra and your neighbor might be more sensitive to another chakra. That is perfectly all right. Each chakra is a station where you process the next level of light. You can do this last step 3 or 4 times, going over the chakras from the base to the crown. Each time sense that you are both sealing the light and pulling up the light. Seal the light. Seal the light. Let no one enter the doors of your chakras. You are sealing the light and pulling up the light. Have the sensation that you're pulling it up. Visualize it rising on the spinal altar. You can assist this action by breathing deeply. As much time as you want to spend on this exercise, you may do so until you feel you have done as much as you should do in a given session. As we go up the spinal altar, we bring the right hand back to our heart chakra, placing it over the left hand. Bow to your mighty I Am presence for this opportunity to raise up the sacred fire, to extend life if it be according to God's will. We thank the Almighty I Am presence for the opportunity to know eternal life even within this physical temple, within the etheric plane, the mental, the desire body. Bow to your I am presence. Then chant the sacred syllable of the Om. Seal that blazing flame in your 4 lower bodies, in the stations of the chakras, and keep the flame. We are keepers of this flame so that we might have life and have it abundantly through our chakras.
You can open your eyes. How was the meditation?
Yeah, it was truly very nice. I experienced quite a lot of power in all the chakras moving and felt very nice. Still now there is a pain in third eye portion and Sahasrama.
You know, third eye
chakra.
pains, yeah. So that's also one of the...
And crown.
Crown as well, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
An
and
indication
solar
of
eclipse
opening
also.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And solar eclipse, solar plex also, there is a pain.
Yeah.
So feeling very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're most welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's my pleasure. And yeah. And how about you, Sahar Bhai, Bonita?
Yes, Akash?
How was your experience?
Amazing. First, thank you for this immediate, effective exercise. I'm still trying to gather words. Actually, when we were doing this exercise, and I felt like some chakras are pulling and some chakras are pushing. As I was doing Qigong before, so I'm a bit familiar with the sensing exercises, but some chakras needed needed something, and I felt like the last exercise, raising the hand over the chakras, I repeated it 3 times because I felt like it's very soothing and balancing and connecting all the chakras together. But I felt like there are 2 chakras. Sorry. I felt like there are 2 chakras that were tingling and pushing my hand by the end of this meditation, which were the third eye and the crown. But unintentionally, when we were doing the base of the spine chakra, the root chakra, I was doing the locks or badas when you lock the muscles, but it was unintentional. So I tried to stop it. I know it's another technique and another exercise, but it happened unintentionally. Then it stopped by itself. Maybe I needed it or something. But by the end of the exercise, I felt like I was glowing somehow. So thank you so much, Akash. I will do this every day.
Yeah, don't bother about it. I think it got stopped in between. It's okay. But as long as you're able to feel that there is impact of the movement of your hands on the different meridian points through the visualization and the guided method that she was asking us to rotate and all that. It's okay. So we always have tomorrow is a new day, so we can do it. But if we do it this repeatedly, the idea was that if we do it repeatedly, we definitely start feeling a sense of alteration in the way we conduct things, various aspects of it. It starts resonating with our God qualities. Let me put it that way. And we will start feeling the change in our tone, the change in our approach of relating to others' opinions, comments, in the way we look at things. How do we use our language, our words? These things start to impact our emotions, our thoughts. Everything is integrated. So we start feeling that shift. And just as we progress, we should know that these chakras are always operating in pairs. As I covered that in the last session, but just for the benefit of both of you, these chakras are always operating in pairs. So the crown chakra, it operates in pair with the base of the spine, which is root chakra. The third eye chakra operates with, in conjunction with the seat of the soul, which is our sacral chakra. And then the throat chakra with our solar plexus. Okay, and what we mean by pairs is that they form a concentric circle, and each of these chakras, they actually are helping to balance the other chakras. But if you notice, the heart chakra doesn't have any pair. It's because the heart chakra is the one which is also having our threefold flame, and that is the soul connection with our God self. Okay, so also it helps to kind of assimilate. Also, it helps us to refocus, or it becomes our you could say as the base of collection of the energy. So all, if you see the chakras, we are moving our hands, they are centering through heart. So we pull the energy, the God energy, we pull the white energy, white fiery disc, as Archangel Michael says, white fiery disc from our heart, and then we go over each chakra. So that is another aspect around it. So visualization will really help. Okay, all that we have shared in the previous slides, we have also highlighted some of the points. For each point, we have all the there are different decrees. So each decree has been bookmarked here. You can use them from this last slide, and this will be shared in the group once you are connected to that. Okay. So yeah, I think that's all for today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akash.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm using my phone, so my computer stopped working. It's a Zoom, so I'm looking here on the computer, so that's why you don't see me face to face. Okay, so it was a nice session. I wish you have a wonderful Saturday and Sunday, and looking forward to meet you again very soon. Yeah. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir. Namaste.
It was amazing. Thank you so much. Namaste all.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Bye. So, bye for now. Bye-bye.